Welcome to the creative side of things,
where we empower and inspire business owners and entrepreneurs to tap into their inner creative,
from standing out in saturated markets
to debunking and challenging the status quo.
We'll learn firsthand from actual small business owners how they've applied creativity, imagination, and common sense to grow their businesses. I'm Javier, Chief Creator and founder of High Ground Creative.
And I'm Megan, founder and CEO of Cheek & Co Clothing.
I'm Gen X and her dad.
I'm Gen Z and his favorite daughter.
Oh, that's debatable.
Well, it's not up for debate. Together we are creative thinkers,
design experts,
branding gurus,
imagination igniters,
and coffee addicts. Keep listening and we'll prove it to you.
Hey, you might learn something.
Imagine that.
Ready?
Let's get creative. And we're back.
It's time for the creative side of things when we're
with your hosts, Megan Santana
and Javier Santana. I am her father.
I am his favorite daughter, probably.
That's debatable.
Today.
That's debatable.
It's not up for debate. We need an echo effect.
Hello,
debate,
hello,
babe.
Welcome everybody back to the creative side of things, where we empower and inspire people
and entrepreneurs to
tap into their inner creative, because everybody's creative. Not everybody's artistic, but everybody is creative.
It could just be abstract art. If you're
sure. Okay, that's another. We'll do that topic.
Write that now.
But the point is that God gave us two sides of our brains, a left side and a right side. And want to learn more about brains? We have an episode about that.
But you guys are right brainers.
Right brainers. So our right brainers are here. We want to continue to build our community. Invite people to listen or watch us. Hopefully we're delivering.
Even invite the left brainers and we'll make them right brainers.
Yeah, we'll work
everyone
on that.
Has the creativity.
They do. And that's what we're here for. We want to make sure that people learn and they grow and realize that the only way things can grow is at some point it started with an idea and somebody acted on the idea and they executed on the idea and became a thing. So what happened there? What was the mechanism? Creativity and imagination. You have it, but you need to nurture it and to grow it, and we're going to help you. We're going to go through this journey together. So that took 2 minutes to say. We've already eaten into 2 minutes of our podcast from a little introduction.
It's okay.
So today we're going to be talking about something that's very near and dear to us, and it's part of
love-hate relationship.
Love-hate relationship for sure. As you know, I own a marketing communications agency where we do everything for our clients. Some parts of it, but we do social media management, we do video production and messaging and strategy and branding and websites, everything between. Today we're going to talk about social media. We're going to talk about not only social media, we're going to talk about mistakes that are commonly made by businesses. We're not talking about your personal profile and doing what, that's a whole nother conversation, what you should be putting on there and shouldn't for the world to see.
Yeah.
Or allowing people to see and stuff. Like, if you want to put your dessert from last night as a picture, have at it. We're not going to talk about that. We're talking about common mistakes that businesses make on social media. So we're going to take a deep dive. We're going to talk about platforms. We're going to talk about all kinds of things. This is something that I help a lot of clients with, and from a strategy standpoint and execution. And
then I am the sunshine, and I will share the positive things about.
She'll do that.
I'll share the opposite of what he's saying.
Right, and also, but Megan has a lot of a proven track record here. And
I've been diving into new platforms recently.
For sure. So we're gonna start. We're gonna go. There's a lot here to hit, and we're gonna slow it down, but we're also gonna speed it up. And there's gonna be, hopefully, you find some nuggets, something here that you guys can use and apply. And that's our goal. Or change. And if you disagree with us, that's okay.
Let us know.
Let us know. We want to know. We want to see, what happens, how we can be better that way. But at the same time, a lot of the things here that we're putting into place, or we're talking about today, are from experience. This is not theoretical. This is not book knowledge. This is experiential. We've blown up a lot into landmines and kind of have learned what we should do and we shouldn't be doing. So these are things that we identified as common mistakes in social media.
Go.
So one of the things I want to set as a baseline is when we do anything in businesses and for our clients, but even you should apply, is there needs to be a plan. If you are going on a journey somewhere and you can, you get a map and you find the best route to get to your destination. Throwing things at the wall and see what sticks only goes so far. So what I want to do is start with some clear things that we've identified. Another thing I want to say, and I know I'm saying a lot here, but I want to set baselines. Posting is not a marketing strategy.
No.
That is what we're saying to you. If you think that I'm just going to post and there's
my
no
sales
plan,
are going to roll in.
Exactly. Going live 5 times a day is not a marketing strategy.
Using the @everyone button on Facebook.
Exactly.
For stupid stuff.
Tagging 50 people. If you're in the business of trying to trick the algorithm, it's a flawed strategy. These are tactics. They are not the reason. They're the how, not the why. Okay. So I'm not saying, so that's another baseline. Okay. So I'm going to let you talk, and then we're going to start the more structured part of this. Go ahead and tell us anything that comes out of your mind right now.
I'm going to disagree.
Okay.
I have structure, but I'm very see what sticks person when it comes to social media. So I structure with my content. I don't structure with my posting.
Okay.
Okay.
But you have a strategy.
Yes, half. Yeah.
There's a plan.
There's not a plan of when I post. There's a plan of I want to make that.
Okay.
And
That's
then
fair.
I'll be like, this morning I was like, oh, it's St. Patrick's Day. Let me post a green picture. Yay, done. And I just didn't know I was going to do that.
Okay, so that's fair. So when I consult or coach or help our clients, if there's not a clear plan, then that can sometimes result in inconsistent posting or messaging and ineffective. There's a lot of energy that gets put into those. So we want to make sure that the energy we put in has a good ROI, a good return on that investment from a time perspective. So having at least a structure of going a certain direction is what I mean. But I agree that you're a person that has a lot of great instincts, and so you make adjustments as you go, and you don't necessarily have to write an outline down for it. But I think in your head, whether you realize it or not, you have a plan.
I guess.
Okay.
So with that, stop.
Can you say something?
Wait, do it again. I feel bad for only audio listeners right now because
I'm beeping. I'm hitting
it
the
makes
beep
sense
button.
on the video. It's really funny. Thank you.
Okay, that's better. Is that better for you?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, so let's jump from this. So we agree to disagree, but I think there's a place of agreement in there. I think just instead of throwing, there's instinct, there's also planning. Somewhere in between, have some type of direction. Don't be going south when you should be going north.
Yeah, I'm definitely planning on my collections. I'm ordering months ahead, but when it comes to posting, it's kind of organic and what I'm feeling.
Okay, that's fair. Let's talk about consistency. Tell me what your thoughts are there.
Consistency is awesome, but don't take it too literally. If you're having a bad day, you need a break off social media, then take a break. The world isn't going to end. Your business isn't going to die because you didn't post on Facebook for a day. It doesn't matter. It's great to show up every day. That would be cool, but
I like showing up. I like that you say that.
Yeah, show up. So whatever that means that day, it could just be saying hi on stories. It could just be writing a status or whatever. Don't overthink it. I feel a lot of business owners are just so hard on themselves and they're like, oh, I haven't posted. Right. But then imagine if you force yourself to post, is that quality there? Or did you just fake it?
No, and I'm actually guilty of this. I'm confessing right here in front of everybody that as a business, I help clients do this, and we're not doing it for myself. And that's something Megan and I have been talking about. Megan's going to help me, be more consistent. My point here is find a level of a frequency of posting and messaging that you can handle and build on that. Mm-hmm. It's better to do a little bit here and there than a lot and then nothing.
Yeah.
And then a lot.
Yeah.
And then nothing.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't have.
If you need a little push to get into the analytics of it, on Facebook and Instagram, check out, okay, what's the gender of my audience? Like mine is like 95% women. That's good to know. It'll say people are usually looking at my stuff around like 6 p.m., not in the morning. So that type of,
Now, the reason you're able to see these numbers is because you have a level of frequency of posting that gives you the numbers that you'll be
So
able.
if you're
never
new-
posting, then those
that's
are not
true.
going to help you.
I didn't think about that.
And that's interesting because it's okay because you that's where you operate from. You have a baseline of data that you can pull from.
I have like 6 years of analytics.
Exactly. For folks that I think measuring is an important part of this because monitoring and measuring what's happening allows you to see what's working and what's not working. But before we do that, you have to commit to a level of a frequency of messages.
So can you argue that the seeing what sticks is kind of necessary when you first start?
Well, I think seeing what sticks is a layman's term, but I think it would be just seeing what works, obviously, and what doesn't work, but going at it further back from the planning stages. I'm going to try, and when you have a lot of these huge companies have the budget and the time to do this, they do A/B testing, ABC testing. I don't advise many of my clients to do that because they don't have enough of a segment of people to practice or try to figure out what was working. When you have millions of followers and you can, you want to do that, you have the ability to do that. If you have a modest, like for myself with my business, I don't have time or it doesn't make sense to do that. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times is gut. Sometimes then, but we also measure and see what's happening. And then we look at data and then see what works and what doesn't work. And
one thing that always works in social media, no matter what, to me, in my opinion, is behind the scenes. Being real and showing that always does well.
That's just an
organic
a type of post. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. So tell me, because you're into this. So and so am I, but I'm saying that you're really in this all the time. So tell me about your audience engagement. Do you interact with them? If you do, is it every single time? How often do you do this? Tell us a little bit more about that.
For comments, I always comment back. And for DMs, I set a time of day to sit down and go through all of them so that I make sure they feel heard. It sucks when I forget and then it because of the 24-hour, like your story disappears. I don't even know what they responded to.
Oh, I see.
So it's good to kind of make it a habit to, at the end of the day, if you have some free time watching TV, just kind of go through, make sure you respond to people who reached out on stories.
So you do not ignore your audience?
No. Okay. Never, ever. So if anything, they ignore me.
So be consistent.
They're like, shut up.
Be consistent. Whatever that looks like, commit to that.
Yeah. Don't ignore your audience.
Don't ignore your audience. Okay. How about content? I think we hit this already, but posting for the sake of posting. I've seen, for example, a landscape company putting recipes on their social media that's not anyway tied to what they're doing.
Okay.
So irrelevant content. Tell what are your thoughts on that?
There's a time and place for. So that situation is wrong. But then if I sell clothes, but I just decide to share a picture of me and my cat, then I'm personalizing.
Okay. That's fair. But you personally interact, you have your Megan account and you have your Chica & Co., which overlap.
So on Chica & Co., I've shared
that's fine.
Yeah.
Because you are the business, you're the brand.
Exactly.
Right. That's nothing wrong. We're not actually saying, this is a good point. For me, people want to, and you've told me this, other people have told me this, people don't connect with High Ground Creative, they connect with Javier, they don't connect with Chica, they connect with Megan. So that's something I need to do and be more of, better, not just doing coffee gifts.
Or only coffee audios.
Coffee audio, exactly. So
I wanted to go through like each main app and like,
yeah, so
if we like it or not.
We will. Too. We will. So I promise you we will.
Okay.
How about, what is your percentage between salesy content versus informational or promotional or just entertaining? What's your balance? Or do you purposely do that? Or is that something, a category for you?
Well, at the end of the day, you have to think, if you have a business page, they're following you to be sold to. Okay. So they're expecting me to sell them clothes. So I don't feel bad for being salesy, but I do kind of mix in that, hey guys, this is the coffee I got today, but I happen to be wearing like something I'm selling without addressing it.
Okay.
And then I expect someone to DM me like, where's that shirt from? And I'm like, here's the link.
I
So there's
see.
a way I can kind of sneak it in there without them
'Cause you're a
realizing
retail
it.
type of thing, you know, even though e-commerce, you're selling to consumers. So I totally understand that.
Yeah.
In my world, I find it where a lot of my content that we're going to be putting on and have in the past is educational. So I want to be seen as a, which I am, but people don't know that, as an expert and an authority in the space. So the only way to do that is to provide information that they could use without asking for the sale. And then a percentage of that would be like more straightforward. Hey, we do websites, we do social media, we do and do that. But there's
I was just talking about that with someone who sells insurance, that if you kind of, if you're a service that, and you're listening, if you kind of give some free education, not expecting to make money off of them, you end up getting like a client out of it.
because you're building trust.
Because exactly,
becoming
you're
an
like,
authority.
I'm not going to keep this information from you. Here's what I've learned, and if you want further information, you know, let me know.
And people don't buy from people they don't trust.
Yes, you got to
So
build that trust.
When you hear influencers or authority, people building authority, what they've done is there's a difference between being an influencer and being an authority something. So there's a lot of people who are influencers who have 1 million followers and have not made a penny on selling what they're trying to sell.
And I think being salesy is completely okay as long as you're transparent about it. When you see influencers who have a paid ad, they'll say it. It'll say, hey, this next slide is a paid ad. And then they do it. And everyone's like, okay, thanks for warning us like that you're selling.
Right. And that's something
There's
that
designated time to sell
do
for
that,
sure.
do that. No, for sure. Okay. We're going to get to the platforms because I know I actually would love to end there because I think they're
Oh, okay, cool. I like it.
How about okay? How about the aesthetic?
Okay,
of
so
the posting.
that's not as important anymore.
Okay,
Like your feed, how it looks.
good.
The new generations do not care.
So this is, you're referring to Instagram?
Anything.
Anything? Okay.
Well, I think so. No, the aesthetic of your brand is different than the aesthetic of your posts, in my opinion.
Correct. So bringing the aesthetic of your brand into your postings.
Yeah.
If you're
Will naturally happen if you know your branding. But what I was more saying is like the Facebook feed and the Instagram feed and the Pinterest feed, it's okay if they don't look perfect because perfect scares people. They want real. So I think that as long as you're real, but you are staying true to your brand, it's gonna still
So you don't have
look
to be
nice.
okay. You know, and I think you're saying this directly
don't
to
use, like-
me. I'm feeling right now that I'm getting Dr. Filled, and I don't know why, but I'm hearing you. So
Like my feed,
it doesn't
it's
have to
cute,
be
but
polished
it's
and
not
shiny
on
every single
purpose.
post. Okay,
It just happened because I like saturate everything.
but don't you like our branding stuff that we did, that I do?
Yes.
I mean, it looks
But what I was
nice.
telling him is it's okay to not put like his font title in each reel. It can just be him.
Okay,
It could just be a picture of you.
okay. So good point. I'm hearing you. I am listening to you. Listening,
Guys, these are really cool topics because we are learning as we talk and we're being real right now,
Yeah.
just kind of disagreeing, agreeing,
Yeah,
learning.
I'm feeling very convicted right now.
So,
I hear
I
you
wanted to
loud and
talk
clear.
about types of posts. So you have your normal posts, selling your product. You have videos. You have quotes.
Yes.
Quotes are really big.
Quotes are big. And how about the
And then you have education in the caption,
caption?
which are savable posts. So you want someone to save it for later. Like what makes them want to save it for later?
Right, because that actually, so there's value there because it can come back. No, okay, so
And call to actions.
calls to actions because that's part of the strategy.
Like tag a bestie who needs this shirt.
There you go.
And then they're
There you
like, people love putting their opinion. So if you put a question, they're going to comment.
That's a good point. And so engagement is a big deal. If with my clients, when we're helping them increase their leads and grow their business, the conversion we talk about is to convert them into a customer, to put them through a process where they connect with our clients. So we have landing pages, we link to a specific thing, but there's a call to action, do this, drive them to a website so they can see more of the information that the entire story instead of part of the story. So all that stuff is...
And doing that, they feel that they got themselves to there. You didn't sell to them.
That's right. You just
They
guide them to that
chose
process.
to click.
Correct.
which is important.
Which it is important because they're making that choice. We're not forcing them. And it's funny you say this because I'm going to talk about two words that are come up, and this is highly debated in my communities and people within the marketing space. There's tactics and strategies about disrupting and interrupting people while they're navigating. Because you have consumers and you have creators in social media. Some of us, consume more than others. We're both. I want to shift more on the creator side of things. Get it?
Wow, you hit the right button.
Yay!
Yay, he's learning.
But shut up. Here we go.
Shut up.
What were we talking about, Megan?
So, not being pushy.
Not being pushy, right? Okay, so disruption versus interruption. Some people say everybody's kind of on cruise control, scrolling up the news feed. We need to do something to interrupt or disrupt. What say you?
This is my problem with vendor shows. I don't know. Am I supposed to say hello to you guys when you come up to my booth?
No, I'm talking on the newsfeed. This is social media.
But I also wanted
episode.
to address that too.
Do that after the social media.
Okay, I'm sorry.
This is a social media episode in the newsfeed.
In your don't posting. Understand your question.
Okay, so you see sometimes something that it's not related to the actual message that forces somebody to stop scrolling.
Okay.
So some people say, stop scrolling. Oh, I'm going to stop scrolling. Or a hook, which I totally find. A headline that is a hook. I think that's compassionate, meaning that I'm not interrupting you. You're still choosing to. But there's the extreme of it is clickbait, for example, where
you get them, but then you don't even do what you said you're going to do.
It's false pretense.
Yes.
So
it's okay if it's truthful,
if it's truthful and they still have a choice, then you're more disrupting, you're slowing them down, but they still have a choice rather than interrupting them, which I think is totally, and I'm giving you my opinion, disrespectful. I do not want to be interrupted. Mm-hmm. If you disrupt, it's a psychology of just adjusting my flow. At the end of the day, your message has to align with whatever that person. If that person's not in the market to buy your product, I don't care what your message is. They're not going to buy your product. They're not your person. So
hooks essentially.
Hooks, I think so.
Yeah. I do that. I'll be like, free. Did I get your attention? And then I'm not lying. They do get something free, but they have to buy something to get the free item. So I'm like, okay, so you're going to get a free book with this purchase, but I wasn't lying. There is something free in there, but I use that hook.
They use the hook.
Yeah. I think there's no harm in that as long as you follow
it's respectful.
through. Yeah.
And you follow through. I like that. You follow through.
And it's not disrespectful because you're a business page, so you're gonna sell. It's not like
no, you're right.
It's not like it's Megan's personal page, and I'm like, surprise, I sell LuLaRoe leggings. Join my team, MLM pyramid scheme. Like that's where you're like.
Well, I'm gonna give you an example. This is obviously in social media, but this was before social media. Google was in its heyday, and obviously that's another conversation. Which I think there's a lot of shifts happening there, but. There used to be ways you could trick Google into showing things, and now you can't, obviously, and don't try. Where keywords,
like hashtags.
Well, no, even before that, whatever was happening in the world, they would put as keywords into their website, so they would come up. So, for example,
but like same idea.
No, that's the whole point. In other words, it wasn't relevant, but it when you landed there, it's like that's not the website I was thinking I was getting. And that destroys.
Bad.
And the thing I look at it is it destroys the integrity of that business. If I fool you or trick you into clicking what I'm doing, and I think that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
If I
that's like old school.
It's total
old school trickery.
And I'm very old school, and that used to work. But I think at the end of the day, if I try to trick somebody into becoming a client or paying attention to me, that's a problem.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I should be truthful and forthright in what I'm trying to do, and let the message and the messaging and the product speak for itself. Wow, I'm out of saliva.
So I think going into
go ahead.
Being pushy, that can be. Oh, why'd you make a noise? I lost it.
I'm sorry.
No, I think it was a blue one that's like wah wah wah.
Damn.
It's a blue one.
I'm sorry, Megan.
He said glitter.
I'm so sorry.
Glitter.
I messed up your train of thought.
It's okay.
So
It'll come back to me.
You have the permission to interrupt me
Okay,
the moment
cool.
it comes back. Tell me about buying followers. What do you think about that?
Okay, so I was guilty of this in my teenage years. I didn't buy followers, but when Instagram was, big in high school for business as well, numbers mattered then. Now followers count doesn't matter. But so it was like if you didn't have this many, then people didn't care about you. So I would do this like app that I would follow for follow, and essentially it was like buying followers without buying them. Like I wasn't giving them my money, but they were fake, like essentially.
Yeah.
And I learned from that. I was just so adamant on hitting 10K. I just didn't care. And I was like 19. I was just trying to be noticed. Right. So that was.
By the way, she doesn't do that.
I don't do that.
Hasn't done it in a long time. One thing
I learned from it.
I want to commend you.
I'm not ashamed.
No. And I want to commend you because I remember when you did this, where you split your Chicken Co. and
that was a big decision.
It was connected to your Instagram account. And what she did was she had it was Megan and Chica & Co. in one place. So there was
and photography. It was really confusing.
It was all one thing. And there was a moment she had a lot of followers, over 15,000 followers, and this is Instagram. And you made a decision to
restart.
To restart and just move the boutique into its own thing. Mm-hmm. And I remember when it was zero. I think I was like the first follower there.
So that people can choose to be sold to. Because correct. I feel like I was interrupting people. Because all of a sudden your photographer is like selling clothes. So right. I had to make that shift.
So there's all these messages. There's Megan message. There is Chica photography message. There is boutique message.
Yeah, it was a lot for people.
But it was courageous but now you built this up.
So then my community is organic and it's not bought and it's real people.
So I want to give you.
And it's under 10K, but guess kudos. What? Every single one of them is real and supporting. And that's what matters. I'd rather have. When you think of let's say your story is only getting 50 views, put 50 people in a room. That's a lot of people giving you their time of day.
Yeah, that is.
Appreciate every single person.
You hear that?
I'd rather have 10 sales than 10,000 followers and one sale.
Right. There's a lot of power in that statement. What are your metrics? We talked about measuring. Are they vanity? Or are they actual real things? So if you're building a business, I think that I could argue that you're trying to get new customers and
maybe
also
some sales.
Some sales.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. So if you're trying to entertain only and and you're all about engagement, yes, engagement is fine. Sharing, liking, that's how you grow. But I rather, like you said, have half the followers, a third of less of those followers, but the people that are following us are true. And they're customers, and they might be one day soon. That's a better metric.
Exactly.
So don't. Hey, look, we're going to tell you. You don't have to listen to us, but spend your money someplace else instead of buying the followers. How about you take that same dollar and boost the post and get your message that fits your business faster to more people quicker.
And then give away a free cup of coffee.
Or
give back.
Give back. Oh, I love that. That's really good. Okay, so I have we're going to jump into this, the one you've been wanting to talk about, but let me do a few more things. Going live. I know you don't do this.
Because I have farm Wi-Fi and I can't.
Right. She lives in with.
I would love to go live and live sell, but I can't. Guys,
yes.
Respect me because I will post an Instagram story and I have to walk outside and put my phone on my car for it to upload.
She does it.
So respect every post because that post took 50 minutes.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. Sometimes she
comes
here
I
to
wouldn't
this
trade
office.
my homestead for anything. I love it.
She has a really cool place. So here's what I think about.
We just talked about this with a guest.
About live.
Going live is terrifying, but I think it's beneficial. And you have to think, don't focus on who's watching while you're live. Most people are going to replay it. So just be you and put that content out there and hope for replays. Don't worry about people who are literally on there while you're talking.
Correct. So we're talking, I mean, obviously you can go live on Instagram. I'm going to just refer to
I was referring to Facebook. Facebook. I think Facebook's better for lives.
The nice thing about going live is whenever you do, everybody that liked your page or followed you,
they get a
ding. So here's the issue. If you're you need to allow people to miss you.
Yeah, so if you're going live more
All
than
the
once,
time,
they're going to be like,
they're
is
gonna
he
tune you
live
out.
again?
You're going to be tone deaf too. So that
Yeah.
interruption that you wanted to do, it's no longer interruption. It's the norm. So then you can't, it's not effective anymore.
Yes. So Facebook has this new thing. It's called @everyone. And it's for businesses only. Pretty sure. At
On the
least
pages.
on groups, I thought
right,
specifically.
right,
Yeah.
right.
So for groups. So once a day, you're allowed to @everyone in your context for that group. So I don't use it daily, but when I use it, I make sure it's like we were saying, it's a hook that has some girth to it.
Right.
It's worth their time.
That's really good, because then you have to really think about this, and I like that Facebook does this, because I know this is the
Because
Wild
no one's
West.
seeing anything.
It's still,
So it's great.
It's a wild, yeah, exactly. But at the same time, I think the big point in all this is do not litter the news feed. Mm-hmm. What does that mean? Fill in the blanks.
I like the allow them to miss you. That's important.
You know, I say this, I haven't said this, but she's going to hear this, but about your grandmother, my mom, Abu. We talk almost every day and we communicate. And there was one time when I'm like, she's like, how you never call me? It's like, because you call me every day.
Because I'm expecting your call.
Allow me to miss you. She's going to kill me.
Oh
She's going to literally drive from Virginia over to Delaware and then bop me in the head. By the way, I'm going to jump off and I'll get us back on track. We're going to have her, my mom,
as our last hurrah,
as our last episode of season 1 in a few months. So stay tuned. We want you to meet the person who, out of the loins of this woman,
I told you not to.
came all this creativity. There has to be a lot of creativity in this person.
Sorry, guys.
This person plays the accordion. She knows music. She travels. She's
she texted
incredible.
me last week, and she thrifted this really cool lamp, and she was like, Mimi, she was like, I got this from a crazy man. He gave it to me like super cheap, but I don't have any place for it, but it was such a good deal. I grabbed it. Do you want it? And it's like this really cool lamp. And I was like,
awesome.
yes.
That is awesome.
So she has like 3 pieces of furniture I have to grab from her.
She keeps
She's
telling
a
me,
little,
when is Megan going to come?
and I'm like, it's not easy to drive all the way to Virginia.
She's going to tell me, Javi, when is Megan going to come pick the stuff up? She's 25. She's an adult. I don't speak for her anymore. She doesn't listen to
I'm
me
coming
anyway.
to you soon, Abu, I promise.
Okay, so we're almost there. The place where you want it to be. So quality, quantity, and quality.
People are really
balance there.
respecting quality now
Right, show up.
for social media. They want, one thing that I'm noticing in what's trending right now is storytelling.
Okay.
Storytelling is so it's okay. So blogs aren't doing as well as they used to.
No, they're not.
So people are blogging on captions instead. So instead of me posting a picture of me on the podcast that I posted a few weeks ago, I did that, but in the caption I was like, so here was my day today. This is what I did when I woke up, and then we did this, and then we did that. I got so many likes and comments because people were like, oh my God, it's like a little vlog, but
People
in a
read
caption.
it. People read them.
They do. Longer captions are like doing better.
Yeah,
So,
and a good strategy there. Instead of doing all these big paragraphs, you break them up so there's a good paragraph
and
break between
emojis
them.
and all the things.
right.
So when I released my entrepreneurship sweatshirts, instead of trying to sell them, I was like, before we launch tomorrow, I want to share the story behind this shirt and how important it is to me, and I want to share my story about being an entrepreneur. And it did so well, and a lot of people were sharing it, so it actually ended up benefiting me in the long run. But I'm just trying to put storytelling first.
Okay. This is good.
So I have one I'm going to do soon, and it's about a pair of shoes, and it's the pair of shoes that made me realize I wanted to sell clothes. And I still have them.
That's really good. One of the things I struggle with, and this is in line with what you're saying, and I need your help on this.
Okay.
I need your counsel. Social media goddess.
I love it.
Okay, so telling a story is not the same as stories. That's one thing.
No, different.
So we'll talk about that in a second. So I'm going to ask you about
Oh, I
that.
love stories.
There's a lot of energy in marketing that goes into play for these posts and campaigns and things like that. A lot of time, a lot of creativity, so I have to we look at the return on that investment time-wise to see where we need to put our efforts into it. So my point here is, for example, if there's a message that can be received by somebody and reread, even not at that moment it was posted, and maybe 3 months later, it still has it's effective. I struggle with where to put the message, because there's a lot of places where you can put the message. Mm-hmm. Should this be a video? Should this be a blog post? Should this be
I see what you mean.
Should this be short form? Should this be long form? How does, executing so I don't struggle
with the messaging. That a lot.
Oh, I totally do. And I'll admit that.
He has too much messaging that he doesn't know what to do with it.
No, I have so much to talk about it. How do we present it?
And but then his issue is he never tells anyone because he just overthinks the message. And then I'm like, but you haven't told him yet. Exactly. You got to just... It's literally Nike. It's like, just do it. Just share. And then you can always share it again, and you can share it differently. And I mean, it's no different than me having a clothing piece that isn't moving, and then 2 months later, I restyle it and pretend it's new.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm like, oh, remember that sweater from fall? Here's how you can wear it in the summer because it's not selling. And then boom, it sells out. And I'm like, well,
you make a
just
really
had
good
to kind of
point.
tweak it and adapt.
I learned from this young lady and the people around me. And I surround myself with people that know that more than I do. I know a lot. I've learned a lot. I also are learning a lot, and I still don't, there's things that continue to change in the world and how we communicate. And part of this is communicating a message to an audience. Social media is these platforms, I'm going to do a segue, are a way to communicate a message to an audience. That's all they are.
So I'll take one message and put on everything and see what does the best.
Okay, great. And then sometimes you can say, that's because it might be do differently in Instagram versus
YouTube,
but you don't know
or
that.
whatever.
But you don't know
unless you try.
Okay, but there's different ways to communicate a message. There's videos, there's stories. So how do you leverage? How do you from a strategy standpoint? What's the difference? When do you choose to put something on the story, Instagram or Facebook? But it's the same thing on both, but obviously two different platforms, versus a post itself, knowing that, especially on Facebook, that story, that message that you took energy to put together is going to disappear in 24 hours.
Okay.
So then if you want to communicate that message again, you have to redo it again and put that same energy.
My philosophy is everything connects to each other. So I have customers that don't have Instagram. So they rely on me connecting my Instagram stories to my Facebook. They watch my stories through Facebook. So then if you want it to last more than 24 hours and it had really good, like, meaty content in it, I add it as a highlight.
Okay, that's an Instagram.
And that lasts 3 years.
Okay.
But I'll also save it and I'll post it on TikTok or I just put
the video.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I just made a TikTok today just talking in my car, and I downloaded it and then posted it to Instagram. Okay. I just put it everywhere.
So you're recording directly to the platform rather than on your camera.
It does better, unfortunately.
Inside in every platform?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's slow this down. So what Megan's saying, and I want to make sure, because we're going a million miles an hour. I post. I'm kind of old school that way. I record it, goes into my camera roll, then later I overthink it. I agree, and then I put it up later. Sometimes it doesn't happen, and I have stuff that, I wish I would have posted that 2 weeks ago. Now it's irrelevant. I need some counseling.
He's like hates. You're like angry.
Okay, so what you're saying is you go into the platform and you're inside of it, and you hit record the video there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Always.
So
the only time I don't do that is if I'm using my professional camera to film like a cool video.
Okay, so what's the go-to where your default? Where you go and then you download and you put in the other. What's the one you record in?
If I'm doing it outside the app?
In the app.
Oh. Okay,
you can't record simultaneously to Instagram. Okay, so
for stories, it has to be Instagram first.
And then
it'll push to Facebook.
Okay.
For just fun talking videos that are a reel or TikTok, it's whatever comes first.
Okay, so
usually TikTok.
Our audience might know, and I'm not saying you're dumb. I'm just, I'm dumb right now. Right now, what's happening is short form videos are vertical now, and you can do a YouTube short, a Instagram reel, Facebook reel, or a TikTok. Mm-hmm. These are vertical short form videos that are now people are scrolling up in. So now the word TikTok has become synonymous to like Kleenex and Clorox and Q-tips, meaning that these are cotton swabs. They're not Q-tips. The brand is Q-tip. A Xerox is
I've never heard this analogy.
No, it's a Xerox machine.
Okay.
I'm going to do a TikTok, but that doesn't mean I'm going to put it on TikTok. I can put it on in Instagram as a reel.
Okay. Yeah.
A TikTok, people are referring to as a vertical video that's long form.
Oh, okay, cool.
Or you can actually put it as a story. It doesn't even have to be in one of those platforms. It can be into a story as a video.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got it.
Did we clarify anything, or did you just hear
Does
me
any
rant
of this
for the
make
last
sense?
time?
No. So here's my issue, though. Unfortunately, if I start on TikTok, right, and I record on there, TikTok doesn't allow you to download the video without the TikTok thing floating
It
around.
does float around.
And when you add that to Instagram, it does not let you monetize it. So I get paid for Reels, and it doesn't pay me if it's a TikTok. Unfortunately,
Okay.
it like knows.
So if you do something on Instagram and you download it and you put it on TikTok.
Yeah, that's better because Instagram lets you download your video before you upload it without the Instagram thing floating around.
There's no
but there's
branding
no
on
audio if there's music.
Right. Okay.
This is the issue. You got to find your sweet spot. There's no right answer.
Right, which is why I
It's
continue to
just-
go back to the camera roll. Because it's
I
raw and fresh.
So stories, I don't put anywhere else. They're just on stories.
Okay, so when you do a story and you go directly on there,
It's just for fun.
every 15
It's
seconds.
just like a little vlog.
Okay, so there it is.
I don't
There's the
overthink
strategy.
it. It's in the moment.
You're
it's
documenting. You're talking.
Yeah.
You're talking.
and you'll never see it again.
Okay. But okay, that's fair.
But my try-ons, yes, like that was all recorded on my camera roll.
Okay.
And then I put it on it. But make sure you're using captions.
Look, we told you.
If you're not using captions, then might as well throw it all away. Because people are not listening with their volume
They're
on.
not.
Unfortunately. I wish they were because my voice is just amazing.
It's so nice.
Listen to my voice.
But the last thing I want to hear at 2 a.m. when I'm.
Or if someone's
Going
in
to
the
the bathroom
lobby
is
at
your
their
voice.
doctor's office, they're not going to turn the sound on.
Use captions. There it is.
Captions.
We're here at the end. Let's go ahead and shift to platforms.
So I thought it would be cool to not go down each platform and be like, hate, don't hate. Like,
Okay.
do you like it or not?
You tell me. How do you want to do it?
So we'll both Facebook will both share.
All right. So let's start.
We won't go like long form.
No problem. So let's start. Go ahead. You've been wanting to do this for the last 40 minutes. I'm excited to hear what you got to say. Tell us about.
So should we just go down really quick and then go back?
Okay. So what I'm going to do is set a tone. I always like to do this because that's just the way I am. Platforms are conduits. People on a platform. I'm Javi. I have an account with Instagram, with TikTok, with Facebook. I behave differently in these platforms because these platforms are built for you to behave a certain way. So crafting a message, understanding how the people behave in that audience is very important. But they have a place, and sometimes they overlap, and sometimes you don't need to be on all of them. As a business, you have to know where your audience is. Having said that, we have our opinions and our experiences and our mistakes and our successes in each one of these platforms. So we'll start with Facebook.
So I was just going to go quick and be like, I like it, I don't like it.
Okay, so like, don't like? Okay, go ahead.
Facebook.
I like.
I love. Awesome.
Okay, sorry, I love. Okay,
Facebook's awesome. Twitter, don't like it.
Don't like it.
I deleted Twitter like 4 years ago.
Cesspool.
I don't care. My business doesn't do. What am I supposed to do on there?
I thought this was just one word.
Anyway, Instagram, love it. I wish they were doing better.
I
love
I
it.
used
I
to
want to
love-
love it, but they're crapping on us
I used
right
to
now.
love it. They have an identity crisis. I
They
think
don't know what they wanna do.
I think they're going to get
I
pummeled.
love what it could be. Let's say that.
The idea of Instagram is great. The reality sucks. So
I have to love it because all my sales come from
that's
it.
fine.
LinkedIn, I don't like it.
I like it a lot.
I've never used it.
That's okay.
I don't understand.
It's okay.
I'm like another thing. YouTube, I'm a consumer and I don't post on it.
Okay, that's fair.
He made me do it for the podcast.
Yes. No, it's good. So YouTube, I
YouTube,
like
I
it a
watch
lot.
more than TV.
Okay, and a lot of people in your generation do. And actually, I'm doing that more now with YouTube Shorts, which is the equivalent of.
I have
the vertical
never
video.
watched one yet.
That's okay. That's okay. That's a good point.
All right,
so long form
this
video.
one you didn't
YouTube.
put on here. Pinterest.
Love it.
Love it.
There's no engagement there.
Pinterest is like nostalgic. It's never changed.
Okay.
It just is the same it was when it started, and it still works.
Okay, so
they know their audience.
right. Okay, so we want to circle back and go a little deeper in each one of these to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Okay, so Facebook, obviously, if it was a country, last I heard, if it was a country, it would with the population of Facebook, it would be the third largest country in the world.
Ooh.
So that means there's a lot of people there. Obviously, there's a lot of good stuff in there. There's a lot of crappy stuff. Understand that what you engage on in Facebook.
Yeah, I don't
is
see
what you're
any
gonna
bad
see.
stuff on my
I see
Facebook.
positivity because I engage in
Yeah.
positivity, and if there's negativity, I unfollow. I unfriend.
Would you
and
have
I
a
don't see that.
Facebook if you didn't have a business?
Yes, I would.
I would.
I'm
I
a-
think
you-
it helps me stay connected to family.
You and I are very relatable social people, so that's where there's a lot of people I connect with that I wouldn't normally connect with if it wasn't for that. Here's a big example. I had several years ago, 4 years ago, my high school reunion for my 30 year. In my 10 year, we spent most of the time in that reunion. What have you been doing the last 10 years? That was before
But then
Facebook.
the next one.
The next one was
Face-
no. The next one was I didn't go to, but the 30.
Oh, okay.
The 30, that I had some personal issues. I still do, but I didn't go to that
He
one.
was bullied.
I-
No, I'm kidding.
So by my daughter. No, but the 30, here's the thing. They started a Facebook group about a year before the graduation. And for that year, there was interaction with these people and we're reconnected before the event. So the event was so much fun because we already knew we didn't have to catch up.
Yeah, that's cool.
How many kids? We already knew how many kids you had. We already knew what you were doing. I love that about this platform.
I think that I don't understand why a business wouldn't have Facebook. So that's
Correct.
my opinion on
Correct.
that.
And Facebook, from a perspective of what's happening now in 2023, the algorithms, and I don't like to go in there, but the short form videos, the reels are doing a lot better
On
there
Facebook.
than they are on Instagram.
Also, one more thing, Facebook is the middleman to allow people to shop on your Instagram. So you kind of have to do it if you have e-commerce.
Right. Because right now Meta is both
Meta, exactly.
Facebook and Instagram, so they
like,
interact.
suck it up and get Facebook.
Yeah, get Facebook and don't fight it. You don't have to be there and do all this stuff. But there's a lot of people that in the business world that I'm not on Facebook and I protest, and I think that's a very limiting belief. And you can control your privacy settings of what you're able to see and how people interact with you. Get the darn account and get connected because this is the world we're in, and whether you like it or not.
Okay, Twitter.
Wow,
Yuck.
that was kind of an angry thing. I'm sorry,
okay.
guys. I'm trying to stay positive.
We're just passionate.
We're very passionate about what we do.
Twitter, yuck.
Twitter, it's interesting because
Twitter
Twitter
is embarrassing.
I don't know what. There's a lot of.
I
noise
tried
there.
having it and I just didn't understand it.
It's noisy. I don't know if it's good or bad. I mean, I still have an account. I don't post at all. I mean, I've posted before. I think every so often when my team wins or something, and I'll tweet something or I'll retweet
Or if you
something.
want to win like free concert tickets or something.
Yeah, something like or when I want to reach somebody's customer service department that I can't get through, I actually go on Twitter and hashtag them and complain.
Oh, exactly.
And then I get an inbox from their customer service
So
department.
if someone listening, if you use Twitter and it's helping your business, please let us know because I would be shocked.
We
I
want to
need
get
proof.
schooled on this. I want to see the value in
I
that.
hate Twitter.
I agree with you. Now, I don't know, Elon Musk took over Twitter. I don't know if it's better or worse. I'm a person that these types of places need to be a place where there's, they don't need to be the Wild West, but they're, if things are being blocked for other reasons, whatever side of the aisle you're in politically, I don't
Oh,
like
yeah, we
that.
didn't put TikTok on here.
So let's jump to TikTok. Tell me.
Yes, love it. If they take it away, then whatever, but I'm going to use it in the meantime.
Right. No, I think TikTok is fantastic. TikTok.
I love TikTok. I'm building such a cool community on there.
So you're going to be very surprised about what I'm about to say about TikTok. This is a guy I've been in marketing for 30 years. Google has been the king for a long time and they're not going anywhere, but Google is hurting and it's going to be hurting more with AI and a lot of things unless they catch up. However, I'm realizing SEO, that space in websites are still going to be relevant and they still are. But the way people are finding information is no longer the case when by going to a Google search and saying, I want to find out about this. People in Gen Z and now more millennials and now what they go to TikTok has become a search engine. Mm-hmm. People are finding things out.
People are shopping on there.
Are finding all kinds of things there.
Lives are huge. People are making bank on there.
Yep, and then
collaboration.
You can do SEO for TikTok now, with hashtags and being able to put a message.
Celebrities are all using TikTok
Absolutely.
now to talk to people.
So it's not just dancing around to trending music.
No, it's not
this
that at
tool
all.
is incredible because it's a way video is a better form of communication because people connect with you through video.
I found one of my wholesalers through TikTok because a small business shouted them out. They use them for embroidery and they were like, open about it. And so then I found them on there, and then I reached out to them, and now I'm working with them. TikTok is a great thing for small business learning as well. Love TikTok.
Right. No, it's a really good tool. That is a vertical video.
TikTok is
video,
causing overnight successes.
No, for sure. And their algorithm. I hate to say that, continue to say that, but they base the way you find them on people's interests, not on things like hashtags and things like that. So
yeah,
if you're scrolling,
and you can still use hashtags on there.
For sure. So consider it. It doesn't mean every business it fits.
Try it out. It's
Where's
fun.
your audience? But what's interesting, what I say about this, yes, try it out. And having a presence there doesn't mean you have to live there.
I think
as a business.
If you struggle with overthinking your content, TikTok is for you. You do not have to plan. You just chat. You just talk. I did a car talk this morning about my crochet hangers. Got a bunch of views on it. I shared myself buying a strawberry stool from Home Goods. Got 600,000 views.
Okay, so why would you go there instead of a story?
You would do both.
So the same video on both.
You're overthinking it.
No, I'm just saying.
Like
it's the same information. In other words, some people. So no. I don't think I'm overthinking it this way. I want to make sure we agree here. We understand here. I want to make sure that my message has maximum exposure because it's relevant to a lot of people.
My TikTok is me sharing my products in a fun way. Like, here's my outfit of the day. Okay, bye. I'm not going to post that on Instagram.
But you're not going to put that on a story?
If I don't think about it.
Okay.
I might if it comes to my brain.
Okay. So, I mean,
I don't like repeating myself within the hour. I'm not going to, do that and then do the same exact thing on another platform. Okay,
got it. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a moment where you're like, I'm going to say this, and then you make a quick decision about where you're going to do it.
The way I keep describing stories is vlogging. It's documenting. You don't document on TikTok necessarily. You're just having fun and talking.
So you had thought about the message and then you recorded, but you already pre-thought it. The story is more spontaneous.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, there it is. So
I was struggling with how to explain it to you.
Documenting, you're like
TikTok, I'm still selling. I'm just having fun. I'm not overthinking it.
Okay, I really love
There's
that.
no feed. There's no curated pictures. It's just
I
video.
It's
just
really
for
love
fun.
that. No, that's very freeing for me.
I'm meeting so many cool business owners.
I'm hoping this helps you guys because look, this is very raw. We have not rehearsed this. We have a few.
That's why we keep disagreeing for once. Yay! We're disagreeing.
Michael Faber, we're disagreeing.
Yay! Everyone wanted us to argue.
But look, we're laughing together, right? Next one.
LinkedIn. I've never touched it. I don't know.
Okay, so LinkedIn is interesting because
isn't it just for business owners?
No, it's anybody can be there. Have a personal profile, but if you're the way I see it is, it's a way. It's a little more professional. It's more focused on. There's less fluff.
Okay.
And especially if you're a business to business, you got to be in there. If
a business for business, that makes sense.
Now I see there's value there too because your audience are women.
And I don't know how it would benefit me. My entrepreneur sweatshirt,
No, I would say just the same information you're doing on Facebook, you can put it on there. Mm-hmm. The platform is very.
Is it an app?
No, it's exactly basically like Facebook.
It has an app.
It has an app.
This is how much I don't know about it.
It has an app. It's literally.
All I know is it flooded my email and it was annoying.
Well, you can turn that off.
It was like LinkedIn. These people want to meet you, and I'm like, but I don't have one. How are they finding me?
Right. There's a news feed. There's it's basically exactly like
Facebook for business.
Facebook for business.
Cool.
You can
basically with that, it's just it's another thing that would consume my time, and it's not a necessity.
Well, you do duplicate content. In other words, you can put one and put it on.
But it's another one.
It's another one.
I'm barely handling TikTok.
No, it's fair. It's fair. Do you see where we're hitting? This is what we're doing.
You gotta pick what's working.
Right. Look,
you gotta you can't do it all.
The topic of this almost 1 hour talk is
oops.
Chewing the meat, spit out the bones.
YouTube.
That wasn't funny.
I'm trying to keep us under or right at an hour.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, YouTube. I do like it. I haven't posted on there before. I don't know. I like it as a consumer. I love YouTube as my television. I watch video game people. That's all I do in there.
Okay, so YouTube, long form video, that's where it is. You put long form meaning 40 minutes, 30 minutes, 25 minutes. So you have something to say. Look, for us, our podcast is on YouTube. My business case for YouTube, for the podcast, was the people connect with Javi and Megan. So if we're only a voice, then it's harder to connect with us. Yes, but if people see us and they see our dynamic and see our chemistry, they see it, they feel it, they connect with us, they're going to want to hear the message and they'll receive the message which ultimately it is. So we're able to put we can't put this entire 40-minute, 53-minute video. We could on Facebook Watch.
No, yeah.
But the place for something like this is YouTube, and there's big YouTube, podcasts that are video focused and they put the audio everywhere.
TikTok switching to 10-minute videos.
They're 10 minutes. Facebook just went up to 1.5 minutes, by the way.
Everyone's trying to do everything.
Yeah, for sure.
The last one is Pinterest.
But I'm going to say one more thing about YouTube. The YouTube Shorts, they're realizing YouTube that the only way to people are not engaging there to make comments, but there's no engagement the way there is in social media. They have brought in the vertical videos, the TikTok-like videos, the reels called YouTube Shorts, which now allow you to consume small chunks of the video. And then and the goal is with us is if they see us in 30 seconds,
then they'll go to
the big one.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
It's like a preview, like a trailer.
Right.
Got it.
Okay.
Pinterest. Yes.
So Pinterest, Megan, is an expert in
I have
this.
102,000 viewers per month right now, and randomly my pins will go viral. So right now my strawberry hanger has 30,000 impressions, and we're selling a bunch of strawberry hangers.
That's amazing.
It's just long-term marketing.
Right. So people here are mostly
show up and it'll blow up randomly.
So anybody has been in Pinterest, I've been there. You lose track of time because there's so much incredible creativity. For us to find stuff that is creative, like as a graphic designers and as a marketing company, we go in there for a lot of inspiration.
It's really big for e-commerce.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So you can actually...
I'm a verified merchant on there, so you can shop my pins.
See, this is really good. So this is something for you to consider.
It's really big in the photographer community as well because people are pinning inspiration for photo shoots, but then
huge.
they're following the photographer. It's a search engine for vendors, for wedding industry especially, but then also e-commerce.
Okay. And Google loves
and
Pinterest.
House, anything home.
Okay. So pinning and repinning, that's a big deal.
We're going to need a part 2 on the Pinterest.
Yeah, that's right. That's really Pinteresting.
Yeah, it is. So Pinterest, back in the day, you had to be invited to Pinterest to be able to have an account. I was invited by TG Rosa.
Okay. I remember. I signed up.
It was so cool. You had to get like an invite.
And you and I have a board that we share that's private about.
Yeah, you can have private boards. It's like vision boards. Really cool.
So even though this is social media, technically it isn't because there's not this interaction between people.
That's true. People comment and ask me questions.
Okay. But it's a direct thing. There's no...
They comment on... Because Pinterest has videos now. They're called idea pins.
Okay.
So on my video, people will comment questions and I can answer them.
Okay. So a mistake that a business can make here is not to slow things down and really analyze each one of these platforms and consider them. You don't have to be in... Look, Megan made a choice not to be on LinkedIn. I personally feel she should, but I understand why she doesn't, and it's not going to hurt her. It will only help her, but when she has the bandwidth to do that, she has a business case not to put herself in there. That's totally fine. But I think that's where we're coming across as business owners. Consider them. Talk with whoever helps with your marketing. My clients, we consult them on this. We have conversations about where your audience is. Where do they actually? What platforms normally would they go to, and then make decisions based on that about what platforms we're going to build the presence for our clients or yourself. And that's something I look at with High Ground. If my business, if we're a business to business environment and we're helping other businesses grow, LinkedIn is a must for us. Now, those same people are in Facebook and those same people are on Instagram, but those posts and those messages have to be adjusted accordingly depending on how people behave behind a platform. We made a decision not to be in Twitter. I do have a Twitter account, but we don't do anything there, and we're not going to put our energy and efforts into that platform. Pinterest is fantastic because it's a way to showcase. Right. We can showcase the work we've done in Pinterest. That's an idea we could do.
If Pinterest randomly gets stories, I'm going to just be exhausted. I'm just going to quit everything. I'm going to be like, I can't do this anymore. When Instagram got stories, I was like, oh, brother. But now if Instagram didn't have stories, I wouldn't have an Instagram because no one sees my posts.
Right. Good.
I get like 10 likes.
And that's what's changing.
So unfortunately... Instagram's dying right now.
So you're paying attention to what's happening, and you have to make adjustments.
I'm adapting. I'm like, okay, well, time to video my face.
Right, because customer behavior changes, patterns. Right now with AI, in a year, Megan and I could be having a totally different conversation about what's happening.
I have AI for my Shopify product captions. It writes my captions for me.
That's amazing.
I put purse, cute, I don't know, versatile, and then it makes a caption for me, and it can be playful. It could be, like.
And that's happening right now. That
really
is
creepy,
real
but
time
I'm
happening.
like, whatever.
It's not just ChatGPT, which is obviously the king right now with this. They just have a 4.0 just came out. It's being there's all kinds of AI websites. The point here is that things continue to change the environment, people's behaviors, the way they communicate changes. So that kind of stuff needs to be addressed, and you need to consider these platforms. And the mistake is not considering them, but once you're in there, utilizing the tool wrong. At the end of the day, you have a message to communicate to an audience, figure out what that who that audience is, what the message, and then communicate it consistently to them through these platforms.
To summarize for my side, I just want to relax everyone listening. Please don't be stressed out. I know there's a lot of platforms, but we just wanted to share each one because some people might not even know LinkedIn exists. So we just wanted to address what each one is and what kind of works for each one. So that's what's currently big. Utilize each one, see what you like. If one's not fitting you, then delete it. It's fine.
Right.
Don't stress. And surprisingly, a lot of these connect to each other. So you can do one action and it goes to everything.
Right. And we use software.
A lot of these link.
There's software out there that can
Hootsuite,
and we use Cloud Campaign.
You don't have to go into each app and
do that.
Yeah, they all.
And Meta, that's why it's easy to be on Instagram and Facebook at the same time because you can in the business manager you can control that.
I just don't want someone to leave this episode overwhelmed. So we just wanted to educate on the apps. We're not telling you have to post on each one.
No, and also just the behaviors that what's better to do and not to do that has worked for us and hasn't worked for us. And I know we hit you with 100 miles an hour. We've been an hour doing this. This is probably going to be our longest episode.
But I love it. I don't regret it. I think we had a lot
Maybe
to
we can
go
do
over.
this into 2 episodes like A, B, and B. But I think, again, we didn't rehearse this. We felt that it was something we wanted to do raw and real and see what came out of this. Yeah. Out of this might come, let's dive deeper into certain components. We might have a Pinterest episode in the future.
Absolutely.
We might just have a Facebook episode. We'll kind of see, but let us know. We want to know because we really want to make sure this is valuable to you. We're very passionate about what we do, and you can see in our conversation that we were. But we love what we do, and we love to help people, and we want to make sure you don't make the mistakes we made, and at least notify you and tell you, what has worked.
Do you feel like you understand what I do on stories now? Because you kept asking.
I do like.
Do you get it?
What really connected with me was when you said document and you're vlogging. You're just sharing in spontaneous things that are not rooted into.
If I sell something with it, cool, but that's not the end goal.
So your thoughts and stuff, and I have a lot to say. Sometimes it's like and I do overthinking, and that's something I need to work on. It is maybe the limiting belief. Maybe there's some insecurities. I'm a person that I'm an extrovert. I like to be out there, but I do I'm
always on there, which is funny.
Yeah, I do overthinking, and that's why, if you don't know this, Megan is helping me on the back end of High Ground, helping me as a consultant and helping me organize and help with my mindset so I can actually get out there and start doing what I should be doing.
But already. I know these apps are scary, but I've realized with TikTok, I was terrified of it. Just trying it. It's like a bike. It's going to start coming organically as long as you try it. Just show up and see what's working. And TikTok has become like this weird organic, intuition I have where I'm just like, oh, this thing I'm thinking of, let me just put my camera on and talk about it real quick. Post, done. I don't put music. I just talk to them. And then I'm like, oh, cool. Some sales came in.
Okay.
It's just really fun.
This is good. So have fun doing this.
Have fun.
Don't get stressed about it.
If you're not having fun with a platform, you probably shouldn't be on it.
No, that's a good point. And if you need help, then ask for help. We are here.
Yeah, delegate.
My business is here to help other businesses. We all have blind spots. So even Michael Jordan had a coach. Tiger Woods had a coach. People, they were in the pinnacle and the top of their business, and they needed somebody from the outside in to help them do that. I have that. I have business coaches. I have friends. Megan, actually, in some capacity, is that to me from the outside in because I'm too close to it. Mm-hmm. So sometimes you just need help from the outside in for people to help you get there faster and nudge you the right way. The way Megan's saying, get your butt in gear and show up.
So if you listen to this whole episode, thank you so much. We are so happy to have you here, and we hope you learned something.
Yeah.
I feel like saying my go create something is going to really overwhelm them because they're going to be like, where do I create something?
I drank this whole thing during this episode.
Go create something and post it somewhere and see what happens.
Just, okay, show up.
Show up.
That we should end it with that.
Show up.
Have
We
a
love
great
you
one.
guys.